This is Left Side of the Brain. I guess I'm going to title this one, Everything is a Smoke Screen. Before we get started, do us a favor, go ahead and hit that likes button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into it. You know, life in general is nothing but layers upon layers of deflection. And what Left Side mean by that is everything we do is nothing but a diversion to keep us away from the fact that this life is nothing but what we always say it is, a human prison bar system. But you see, everything that we do is nothing but a diversion to get us away from that fact. From marriage, school, television shows, wars that you hear about in the news, racism, your jobs, sports and entertainment, anything that you can think about other than what we always say, that this world is nothing but a human prison bar system. Everything else, it doesn't even matter. That's why you don't hear nobody saying this but Left Side of the Brain. Who else have said what I just told you? That everything in this world is nothing but a deflection from the truth. That this whole entire world is just a human prison bar system. Arguments that you have with people. I mean, everything. Nothing but a deflection. I was thinking today, right? I was dropping somebody off, right? And they was doing some construction in the area. And have you ever seen those men who work on the side of the street and they have those bright lights that mimic daylight so they can work during the nighttime? Well, anyway, I saw a group of these men working, right? And they had those bright lights. And they was digging in the ground. And the Spirit, he dropped something inside of me. And it said, what you see is light, false light, hiding inside of real light. And I said, And what the Spirit was saying was that false light that mimicked daylight, guess what? It wasn't completely dark. Mind you, when I was seeing these lights, these men, they was working. It was turning nighttime because it's summertime now. And you know, the days are longer now. So it was around like 8:15, something like that. And the lights were real bright, even though outside it wasn't completely dark yet. And that's when the Spirit told me that people in this world, because remember, everything is just a diversion. You have false light that hides in real light. I said, thank you, Spirit. And the Spirit let me know this is the law of exceedings in operation. Remember, the law of exceedings means you can take something from nature, like an example in nature, and apply it to something that takes place in the spirit realm because, and it's called the law of exceedings because nothing that takes place around us in our natural environment exceeds beyond what takes place in the spiritual realm. So in the spirit realm, you have false light amongst us, the real light, just like you have those false bright lights that shine even though you have a sun up in the sky. We have false lights all around us, light bulbs, you name it, stadium lights, and then you'll have the moon reflecting real light. So false lights is amongst us. Okay. Now, the point is, these false lights can create diversion. You see, and you'll be looking at the false light, forgetting that there is a real moon and a sun up in the sky in the background. You see, and just like I was saying, everything is a diversion. So everything that you see taking place is really basically false light, just to keep us away from the fact that everything that's taking place other than what I'm saying, which is everything is a human prison bar system. Everything else that takes place is trying to keep you away from that. It's trying to keep you away from that basic understanding that we have, because it wants you to forget that. It wants you to slip back up into the system. It wants you to get married and have children. It wants you to forget about these things that we say on this channel. It don't want you to be conscious of these things. You see? So you'll have people like, you know, telling you good things or whatever. It sounds good, but it's just to draw you away from this, what I'm saying right now. You see, it's our duty to remind each other. That's why we are the us, the United Souls. We don't have nobody else to tell us this, because they're not going to tell us this. You see, one thing you got to understand about the enemy that we're dealing with, and you can use the law of exceedings again for what I'm about to say. Right now, I'm about to apply the law of exceedings to show you a spiritual truth. Now check this out. In nature, a bee is not going to tell you it's about to sting you. A snake is never going to tell you that it's poison, that it's poisonous and it's about to bite you. A mosquito is never going to alert you that it's about to bite you. Am I right? So likewise, these human prison bars, they're not going to tell you the truth. They don't operate like that. So you have to know for yourself, because they're not going to tell you. They're never going to tell you. Just like a snake will never tell you that it's poison and it's going to bite you. You should know that. You should know that a mosquito is going to bite you. So if you're going out into the woods, you got to spray your what? Your insect repellent. So this is what this lesson is. It's HPV repellent, to remind you where we exist. We live in a prison, people. You can't get relaxed in a prison. If I locked you up in an actual prison, you would be watching your back every second. Nobody is friends in prison. It's all about survival. It's a smokescreen. And if anybody in prison trying to be your friend, guess what? I'm talking about an actual prison, like a jail. I'm not talking about the human prison bar system right now. I'm talking about a real actual prison. I'm just saying this now as a metaphor so you'll understand. In an actual prison, nobody is your friend. You can't get comfortable in Alcatraz. You can't get comfortable in San Quentin. You can't get comfortable in Rikers Island. You can't get comfortable in Pelican's Bay. Because it's inmates inside of there. And they trying to survive. And you can't trust nobody. So likewise, because this is a human prison bar system, you can't trust nobody in this world. Everybody trying to survive. Like I told somebody, there are no friends in this world. You see, people think they are friends with somebody, but you're not. In actuality, you are friends to your own emotions. Your only friend is your emotion. When you're dealing with another person, once that person ceases to stimulate your emotions to make you feel good, then guess what? They are no longer your friend. When you're in a relationship with a female or a female in a relationship with a male, once that partner of yours no longer give you that euphoria feeling, then guess what? The relationship ends. People be like, my ideal person is this tall, and they funny, and they very entertaining. They have very fun conversations. And my ideal wife, she's this height, this shape. She knows how to cook. Yeah, that's who my soulmate will be. But when you really think about it, that soulmate is nothing but your own self creating something that you feel will make you feel good. So it's not even the person. It's you creating a person in your mind and saying to yourself, I'm going to find somebody like this person I created in my mind. And what happens is you find somebody who you think matches that person in your mind. But once that person you find falls short in one of the departments that you created in your mind, guess what? You relinquish that person. Because guess what? That person didn't fit the criteria of that person in your mind. He did or she did at first, but guess what? People change, just like the seasons. But in your false reality, but in your mind, that person doesn't change because it's you. The creation of that person you created in your mind, that individual does not change. But a person outside of your mind, that person will change on you. But all the while, the person you thought matched the person in your mind, that person never existed anyway. Because all the while, it was that person in your mind who you created. Like, you try to put your imaginary friend and superimpose that imaginary person you created in your mind. You wanted to take that person and attach it to one of these people in the world around you. So nobody is friends with anybody. It's just your emotions that you are trying to live up to in somebody else. You're trying to place your emotions into somebody else and call that person your friend. But I'm over that stage. My friend is the truth, the right understanding to heaven. That's why I tell y'all, don't like me. I don't care about you. Don't care about me. Care about the information. That's the point I'm at right now. The information. I know some of this may hurt some of you when you hear this, but you need to hear it. Because a true friend will tell you things even if you don't want to hear it. And that's what the truth is. It don't sugarcoat anything. So you're not listening to Left Side of the Brain, the man. You listening to Left Side of the Brain, the information. You're not don't care about me. It's the information that brings you here. It's not Left Side of the Brain. And when you comment, I don't care about you. I care about the information that you put under the video. That's all I care about. Gray lives matter. Remember that? It's not the body, it's the gray matter, the brain that matters. I don't get caught up in how a person looks. Male, female, black, white, none of that. What does that matter? Because if I was a big time money investor, and if somebody was giving me information on how I could become a billionaire overnight in the stock market, would it matter how the person looked, if I liked them, if they was black, if they was white, if they was short, if they was a midget, if they was obese, if they was anorexic? Would any of that matter? The only thing that would matter is the information that would help me become a billionaire. So likewise, that's the only thing that matters right now. And that's your only friend. Information is your only friend. The right information is your only friend, because it will never leave you. Your so-called friend can die and leave you. Your mother can die and leave you. Your father can die and leave you. Your girlfriend can die and leave you. They just smoke screens anyway. But what can't leave you is this information. It'll stay with you to the end. Everything is a smoke screen. Even our inception into this world is a smoke screen. That orgasm that you feel during sex, that's a lying ass bitch. You know why? Because it feels pleasurable. And that's where life comes from. Sex and that orgasmic feeling. But that orgasm does not depict how life feels. Because after that orgasm, you left with a child. And every child will grow up to experience pain, suffering, heartache, depression. We all go through that. But guess what? Everything is a smoke screen. But when you're having sex and you have that orgasm doesn't tell you, it gives you a false feeling. How ironic is that? Like, the orgasm feels so good. But life does not depict that orgasm. But if this thing was about reality, if the orgasm was painful, just imagine if orgasms were painful. Half of us wouldn't even be here. If orgasms depicted, if the feeling of an orgasm depicted how life really was, half of us, we wouldn't even be here. But that's why it feels good to have sex, because it's tricking you to come into this world. It's tricking you to bring a soul into this world. You high, you want a drug, you having sex, you get an orgasm, you forgetting about that. This orgasm that's creating life, it's only telling us about one side of the life, the pleasure. What about the pain? That orgasm is a lie. Oh, it feels good, but it's nothing like how life feels. Because everything is a smoke screen. I want y'all to think about that. I think I'm going to end this video right here. This is Left Side of the Brain. Tell me what y'all think in the comments section. Add us on Instagram at Left Side of the Brain 2. Jaguars up. Until we meet again, this is Left Side of the Brain signing out.